Okay, welcome back. You man, Dominic K in here. The Dominic K Show, of course, here on the all new radioonfire.com. And I definitely wanted to talk about the recent versus battle between legendary rappers Big Daddy Kane and, of course, KRS-One. We recently saw that coming from the Barclays Center. And there were a lot of takeaways, a lot of takeaways from that. And me being a man of a certain age, these were rappers that I grew up watching, grew up listening to, and I was excited to see this battle. I was. Of course, I pretty much knew the songs that we were more than likely going to see, and we got to hear many of those songs. Of course, Verzuz, what are we talking about? During the pandemic, Timbaland and Swiss Beats created, rolled out this platform, and it has become a squared circle, so to speak, for rappers, producers, DJs. And they are expected to deliver the biggest hits of their careers and, present that. And what it has become now is a format for live performances. It's a vehicle for artists to showcase. And we get concerts. We get a concert. And that's what we got for Verzuz. We got a concert between some legendary classic rappers, KRS-One, Big Daddy Kane. Both artists are well respected in terms of rap, in terms of spitting, in terms of bars. Both rappers well respected in that regard. So, as it relates to the catalog, I was pretty vocal about this. When it comes down to the catalog, KRS-One has a larger body of work. He's released more albums. Of course, he was in Boogie Down Productions. And of course, he's had a successful solo career after that. Big Daddy Kane, his body of work, not as large as KRS-One's. Big Daddy Kane's last album was 1998, Veterans Day. And KRS-One released an album last year. So, but in addition to that, he's been active over the years. Performance-wise, Kane has been on the road more, I would say. Of course, pandemic shutting things down a little bit. But all in all, both artists well respected. Their bars, well respected. And we got to see some of those timeless classics. There was a DJ. There was a thing back and forth with the DJs. Okay, DJ Scratch. Let me say this. DJ Scratch is a legend. DJ Scratch is obviously known in DJ circles for what he does. And he's, battle DJ. And, he has a certain kind of personality, aggressive personality, I suppose. And, people are competitive. Kid Capri, my favorite all-time DJ. And I've said that many times on this program. But I didn't like the matchup, of Big Daddy Kane and DJ Scratch. Their personalities are completely off, and there was some awkward moments between them. But initially, when it was announced that Big Daddy Kane was going to have DJ Scratch, who was known for his work with EPMD, was going to have him as his DJ, I was excited. I mean, I would have rather seen Mr. C. Shout out to the homie Mr. C. But we got DJ Scratch and we got Kid Capri mixing for KRS-One. And, that matchup was a little bit better, but there were awkward moments and a few hiccups that just happened with regards to live performances. These things just happen sometimes. So we got to see some DJ stuff back and forth. And but the energy that DJ Scratch was bringing was he was trying to spark something between him and Kid Capri, and he did some of his routines, and we got the Jason mask out, which is a legendary routine that he did in the DMC battles back in the day, the DJ battles. I didn't like the energy. I felt that the DJ should have just been playing a record. That wasn't his DJ. That wasn't his tour DJ. He was filling in for somebody, right? And so he didn't have any. I didn't think he had any animosity or should have had animosity. The DJ should have just been playing the records and hyping up the artist. So that didn't happen that way. Scratch wanted all the smoke. Another thing about Scratch, DJ Scratch wants the attention, and sometimes I think he felt like it was Big Daddy Kane and DJ Scratch. DJ Scratch was just backing up Big Daddy Kane. But nonetheless, we got a Chucky promo. Chucky was the sponsor, one of the sponsors of the event. So we got a promo of that. We got Fat Joe coming out, and Fat Joe is probably going to be a fixture at a lot of these versus battles, especially the ones that are in New York. So he came out. He was the host for the evening, which made me nervous. And I'm going to tell you why, because I thought we were going to see Fat Joe all night. And we only saw Fat Joe in the beginning, which I thought was good. And after that, he became a fan and just was in the crowd and enjoying the show. And I liked that. I didn't want us to have too much Fat Joe like we had too much Steve Harvey several versus battles ago when Steve Harvey just was in the mix all the time. We wanted to hear from the groups. And I think that Verzuz learned from that. So Fat Joe introduced the rappers coming out, and that was good. He also, shouted out KRS-One being one of his, if not the biggest motivator of his rap career, somebody that he looks up to. And many people look up to KRS-One. So, Big Daddy Kane having his career so heavily tied to Biz Markie, I knew that there was going to have to be some time where they mentioned Biz Markie because there were going to be records played that Biz was on. And with him recently passing away, I thought that it was destined to happen. Definitely hard not to get emotional when you think about the fact that one of those rap legends is not, walking this earth anymore. But Kane came out, paid homage to Biz, and that was definitely something that was a highlight. And the hits, we saw some hits. We saw or heard some hits. And running down some of those, I mean, because it's kind of hard to score this. We heard Criminal Minded, and Kane did Just Rhyming with the Biz. And when you put Just Rhyming with the Biz next to Criminal Minded, I think that's a no-brainer for Criminal Minded to win that. And I said this going into this battle: Big Daddy Kane did not have the catalog to compete with KRS-One. That's what I said. And it is true. However, there were some other factors here. Song selection is important. What record are you putting against what record? How many songs are you doing? And another thing that I just did not even think about, which became clear and obvious throughout the night, is that KRS-One had a problem with breath control, his breathing. Okay. A lot of times rappers have a backup, right? A hype man. And the purpose of the hype man, obviously to hype up the crowd, but the other important role of a hype man is to accent those words, usually at the end of a sentence, so the rapper can catch their breath during a live performance. And because he didn't have that, and because, we're all getting older, he was out of breath at many points in times. And he was, stopping, trying to get the crowd to say words. But that was to mask the fact that he was out of breath. Okay. He was not in shape. He was not in what you call stage shape. Right. He was not in performance shape. Big Daddy Kane was. Okay, and I thought that that was significant. Now, when you see a rapper doing his songs and he kind of throws the mic to the crowd and they say the words, and you do that. But if you notice, KRS-One did that way too much, right? Way too much. So the crowd's gonna know some of your song. They're gonna know words here and there, but they're not gonna know every word of every song and every little part. He was doing that, and he was out of breath many points in time. So that was something that was visible to me. I'm still number one versus Kane's Enough Respect. Um, I also think that that's another one for KRS-One. When you just strictly look at the song, when you strictly look at the song, Young, Gifted, and Black, and MCs Act Like They Don't Know. I forgot how hard Young, Gifted, and Black, the song by Big Daddy Kane was, and that thing rang off. Okay, I definitely give that round to Kane. Now, the MC and Outta Here versus Big Daddy Kane's rap summary. That was another victory, I think, for KRS-One. But I do want to highlight the fact, and I keep saying this, KRS-One's breath control was not there. You're talking about taking this show on the road and having some live performances. KRS-One has got to have a hype man or someone that's going to back him up with the lyrics, because he need, they used to do this thing called the dub mix, and rappers would use that for their shows a lot of times. The dub mix comes in every couple words, the end of a sentence, the word is there, the line is there, and it's almost like an instrumental, but it has some of the vocals in it. He needs that. Okay, you put that in the track. You can have somebody do it live. You can have your DJ do it. Him and Kid Capri don't perform together, so Kid Capri didn't know where all of the words were. But somebody has to do that, because the fans will get cheated. We saw Jack of Spade versus Set It Off. Wow. Okay. I mean, we can go on and on and on about this. But these are, let me say this, these are songs in my head, right? These are songs in my head. But ultimately, the tracks, the lineups that we saw, the performances that we saw were good. There were break dancers. I tweeted something that I thought that was interesting. How was it that KRS-One brings out dancers before Big Daddy Kane does? Right? I just thought that was amazing. I just thought that was amazing that we saw that. But we got a chance to see some legendary breakdancers. That was amazing. What is hip hop without breakdancing? What is hip hop without graffiti? What is hip hop without DJing? What is hip hop without MCs? And we got to see all of that. And KRS-One, as I said, bringing out breakdancers first. Of course, Kane followed up with that as well. And Kane also still someone who can do some of those dance moves. But KRS-One, of course, tried to keep the party lit with his vocals. Kane wanted to remind the crowd why he is considered a hip-hop sex symbol. So he busted out some of those dance moves, and that was good. Cameo appearances, we got a chance to see some guests. Now I knew that we had to see guests. I just knew. And one of the things about Verzuz now, people are looking forward to the guests. Who are they going to bring on stage? What songs are they going to do with collaborators, and then keep the collaborator out on stage to do a song or two of their own? So legendary group Nice and Smooth came out for Pimpin' Ain't Easy. Now, when Pimpin' Ain't Easy came out back in the day, I love the group Nice and Smooth. Let me say that. The song to me did not hit the points where it could have hit back in the day, because the hook is not strong. And I felt like that back in the day. The song it got a little bit of play, but it didn't get a lot of play. But it was something cool. I did like the live rendition of it, and it just reminded me how strong the hook could have been, should have been. Strong. The hook is not strong. Okay. We did get a chance to see nice and smooth perform Dwick. I would like to have seen them do Hip Hop Junkies though. But there was a shout out for the late great Guru, who is on that song, of course. We got to see Scoob Lover. Now, here's another thing. If you don't have Scoob Lover was the dancer for Big Daddy Kane back in the day, Scoob and Scrap. They did their dance, their signature dance, suggestive move, right? That move only works when you got three people doing it. So when you had two people doing it, it looked kind of weird, right? But it was something that they used to do back in the day, and used to get the crowd on their feet. Now, I've seen Big Daddy Kane perform live a few times, and they always get that move in whenever he's on stage. He does that move, and so it was good to see that. I wish that they had a third person to come out there and do that. We saw Mad Lion come on the stage. Let me say this. I forgot all about Mad Lion. And Mad Lion used to get a lot of play in the parties and whatever. Take It Easy. We got to hear that song. It was great to see Mad Lion up there. A longtime collaborator with KRS-One, and it completely slipped my mind that we might see him. Das Effects came out, and they blessed the crowd with their appearance, and they got into a song as well. Das Effects, another group that does not get talked about enough. Back in the day, Das Effects records, several of them, would get the parties going. And definitely unique style, unique flow, and it allowed the rapper, in this instance, KRS-One, to take a break and catch his breath. Did I say that he was out of breath a lot? Okay, he was out of breath a lot. But ultimately, here's another thing that added to that. This setup they had like a long stage where they would walk down, and the next rapper would perform, and they would kind of change spots, and the next rapper comes out. That walk, you definitely cannot discount the fact that walk took something out of KRS-One and Kane. Kane was in pretty good shape, but I think that was something that was very, very, very visible to me all night. And when we're talking about a live show, that's something that they have to work on when they take this act on the road. And I'll go see this act live again, because I'm sure they're gonna split it up a little bit differently. We also got a chance to see Roxanne Shante come out. That was always great. Another point that Big Daddy Kane made when Roxanne Shante was out, he was talking about male rappers bringing out females, putting them out in the game, giving them the cosign, and getting their career started. And that his career he attributed to the work that Roxanne put in, and she birthed them with regards to opening the door. So I thought that was good that he highlighted that he mentioned that he brought that point up, because that is something that you don't see often, and it's definitely something that when it does happen, that needs to be acknowledged. I don't think I've ever seen or heard that fact really be acknowledged, by them, the Juice Crew. And speaking of the Juice Crew, I was hoping that we saw the symphony, heard the symphony, and we did. I was also hoping that we saw Marley Marl. I would have loved for Marley Marl to have been the DJ for Big Daddy Kane. That to me would have made more sense. Does he have the, that DJ Scratch has? No, but we didn't need that, right? And every time Scratch tried to do it, it just felt awkward, right? It just felt awkward. I would have loved to have seen Marley Marl. I would have loved to have seen Mr. C, DJ for Kane. That's all we needed. We didn't need somebody that was trying to steal the show like DJ Scratch was, trying to steal the show. So I thought that took away. But we did get a chance to hear the symphony. Master Ace came out. Craig G came out. I was hoping that we were going to get Cool G Rap come out. It did not happen. Dang, I really wish that it happened. But we got a shortened version of the classic song, The Symphony. And, all in all, the event, I think, was a celebration. I think it was a celebration. And the real winners, as usually happens, the real winners are the fans. At the end of the day, fans got a chance to bear witness to two artists that are largely responsible for a lot of the raps that we hear today. What rapper was not influenced by Big Daddy Kane? I mean, when you think about it, Big Daddy Kane influenced so many rappers. The rap style I'm talking about, the rap style of your rappers' favorite rappers, right? These pioneers were some of the people that made them think that they could do it, right? So I just want to get back to a couple of these songs. Super Ho and Jimmy. I did not expect us to hear Jimmy, doing that. Kane did, of course, Mortal Kombat. Part-Time Sucker was versus Pimpin' Ain't Easy. Black Cop, Mad Lions Take It Easy. Kane's Raw. Raw, R-A-W, was, that was an underground song back in the day, but that's one of Kane's hardest songs. We did get a chance to hear some freestyles back and forth, which was good. Both rappers doing their thing. And as I said many times, both rappers well respected as far as their bars go, as far as, those words. Both rappers well respected. Step Into a World and The Wrath of Kane. I mean, these are classic songs. These are classic songs. Sometimes in some verses, we've seen some artists, I ain't going to say no names. We've seen some artists do some songs. We're like, what song is that? All right. That wasn't something that happened here if you're of this era. Now, if you're a young person and you don't know these artists, then maybe all the songs are unfamiliar to you. But I'm talking about people who know these artists. These are hits. South Bronx, Ain't No Half Stepping. Both of those songs ringing off. Sound of the Police. It was just Platinum Plus, the Big L song. Poetry, Love's Gonna Get You. Big Daddy Kane did a freestyle. It was just a night to remember. And some of our legends in the game. 9mm Goes Bang. We also saw Mad Ism, Warming Up Kane. I mean, it was a great night. It reminded me of back in the day. In my homie DJ Unique in his parents' basement, us going through the records back in the day, putting records on the turntables and playing. We were playing these songs as kids in the basement. So to see these guys in twilights of their career doing these records live was fun. And did I mention Buckshot? Buckshot. Yeah, Black Moon. That was he had an interesting freestyle, whatever. It was just a real cool night. And all in all, I thought that going into this, KRS-One was going to murder Big Daddy Kane. That's not what happened. I think it was a draw. I think it was a draw. And as I said, the real victory goes to the fans. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok, at The Diamond K Show. On YouTube, search The Diamond K Show. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button and all of that. Much more to come from yours truly, Diamond K, here. Stay tuned.